I pray for Ronnie to, in a beautiful way, get himself out of the situation he's in and come out on top.
The third couple saved by the public is Mimi and Io.
Okay, we need to get over with these love triangles and move back to Kieran, because Kieran is gold. His outspokenness is just something else. Am I surprised with the bottom three couples? No, that was a given. No. Am I surprised with who's gone home? Not really. Maybe with the guys, but not with the girls. But anyway, it is what it is. And for the producers to have read out that Ayo and Mimi are safe. They're messy as hell. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 11, Episode 9. Okay, so before I start, I just need to respond to a comment. I don't hate Uma. And I try to avoid sort of putting out hateful content or being hateful towards somebody else. But what I hate is the way Uma's been behaving. The fact that she has the girls running to her as a spy, sort of running around the villa and gathering information and bringing it to her about Mimi and Ayo, that I don't like. The fact that she's playing victim, I don't like. The fact that she's trying to pretend to be Mimi's friend to her face, and then she turns around and does malicious things behind her back, that I do not like. And that is what I hate. Anyway, I digress. So you have this villa at the moment is a villa of love triangles. That's all I can say, because you have the Ronnie and Harriet and Jess situation, and then you have the Ayo, Mimi, Uma situation, and then you also have the Jess situation with Sean and Ronnie. So it's all love triangles, that's all it is. And then you have the little middleman running around with the gossip, trying to share the tea. Anyway, so you have, first off, you have a situation whereby Harriet pulls Ronnie for a chat to sort of discuss their situation and where they stand, and telling him he needs to make a decision. And it's like, he's not going to make a decision. He's enjoying the being in the mix. He's enjoying the fact that by keeping you girls going, that he's assured that the producers are going to keep his storyline active. And so he's going to do that for as long as possible, until the producers tell him that's enough. Then he's going to stop. But otherwise, at the moment, he's going to keep going. And then you have the situation with Jess pulls him for a chat. This is what she's told me. Tell me the truth. Is it true or is it not? But I don't believe her. And it's like, why would she lie to you? Why? This guy is the one who's lying to you. He's using you. We can all see that Ronnie is using Jess as a backup. He knows he doesn't. Well, he's got chemistry with her. They have good banter. And I think they do have some sort of sexual attraction. But that's as far as it goes. It's not something deep that he's interested in exploring. Even Harriet, I don't think he's interested in Harriet long term. He's interested in Harriet because he knows Harriet is getting a lot of press. But that's all he's interested in, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even understand why Jess is not even entertaining Sean, because Sean pulled her for a chat and she said, well, I can't deal with two people at the same time, so I want to finish with the Ronnie situation, and if I turn to you, then I turn to you fully. At least she's entertained him better than she did with the situation with Manver, because Manver, she was very dismissive. She didn't even seem at least to consider him as a romantic potential. She didn't consider him for that, so that's good. And then you have the boys. This villa, those girls, I wonder, is that the way London boys behave then? Because between Ayo and Ronnie, oh my God, those girls are in trouble. They really are in trouble. You have Ronnie and Ayo. They seem to be very close friends. They were sitting and chatting. And then Samantha comes in to source a bit of gossip. She starts asking, oh, you took Mimi to the terrace. Why did you take her to the terrace? Blah, 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 blah. And he sort of explained himself that, did you share a kiss? And they said, yeah, we did. And besides, Mimi and I have already shared a kiss before Uma came into the villa. And so it's nothing new. It's nothing special. This is what we do. This is how we roll. And so for Sam to then run with the gossip back to Uma and Uma to pretend to cry doesn't make sense, because Uma is nobody's victim. She knows what she's doing. She didn't like that guy. She likes the fact that she's getting the attention because of the fact that she's involved in that triangle. That's all she likes. Nothing else. That's all she likes. And so for her to try and cry and, oh, why me, oh, why this, that, and the other, and then to gather the girls in the bathroom doesn't make sense. I don't get it. And I don't get how she thinks that's a good look. I really don't. It's more or less bullying to some extent, in the sense that they want Mimi to sort of behave the way they want her to behave. And if she doesn't do that, then they start to sort of isolate her. If anybody else was doing what they're doing to Mimi, if Mimi, for example, was the one who was doing whatever Uma and the girls are doing, people would be up in arms. They would be writing to Ofcom and they'll be complaining, she's bullying, she's this, she's that. But because it's Uma, nobody's saying anything. And I think the other girls, the reason why they're siding with Uma is they don't like the fact that when they walked into the villa, the very first person to get a connection that was very strong was Mimi. Had one of them been the one that had met, sort of connected with the guy, and they had had the connection that Mimi and Ayo had, they would not be behaving the way they're behaving. I think it's more jealousy, in the sense that they can't understand how Mimi could get something that they couldn't, and this is why they're sort of trying to mess about with that so that they can get the spotlight. I think because they're thinking, if Mimi and Ayo become a stronger couple, then we're in trouble. Nobody else is going to care about us or even want to watch us. That's the impression that I get. So the islanders go to sleep, and in the morning, I like that they are no longer having a debrief where they go around in circles and everybody's talking about nothing just to fill the time. So you had this debrief between Jess, Uma, Samantha, and Manuve. I don't know why Manuve was there, whether they just wanted to show him because they thought he might be going home. So they sit down, they have this conversation, and you have Jess moaning about the fact that, oh, I need him to make a decision. And I mean, because she's already given Ronnie a timeline on when she expects a decision by. And so Ronnie is on a clock, and he knows he's on a clock, and he's been talking to the guys about this. You have Oma then complaining bitterly about the fact that, oh, I'm upset because he kissed her on the terrace, this, that. And it's like, you came in as a bombshell. You were not his original couple. You were not his initial attraction or his initial connection. So the idea that you feel aggrieved and you feel like you're owed some sort of explanation doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. You should do what Mimi did. You should just, sit down and just watch what's happening and allow it to play out the way it's meant to play out. It's sad that she's very immature. She's coming across as very childish, in my opinion, that unless things are being done her way at her time, Uma doesn't like it. So the idea that as soon as Mimi picked Ayo, she's been finding fault with Mimi doesn't make sense to me. She's been finding fault with the situation, with that connection. And it's like, you came in and you stole him from his couple, and now you're suddenly aggrieved that he's entertaining that couple. Make that make sense? We need to send her home. She's becoming annoying. She needs to go home. Anyway, you have Ronnie go for a chat with Harriet. Ronnie's a fool. These boys are very foolish, because he goes for a chat with Harriet and they're talking and she's asking, did you think about me last night? And he's sort of trying to sort of dance away from that because he lied to Jess and told Jess that he didn't say it, and yet he told Harriet that I was thinking about you. So I think he's trying to be cautious of what he says, and it's like, what's the point? And Jess is complaining to Uma and Patsy, oh, I wanted him to let me know what's going on. I'm tired of him wasting my time. And it's like, you can make the decision yourself. You don't need to wait for him to make a decision. Why are you giving him the power to make the decision in the first place? You can easily tell him that you're not interested, you're moving on with Sean, and that's fine. It is what it is. And you have Ronnie and Ayo, they're sitting there pondering their demise in regards to these two connections and what are they going to do. They are on a deadline. They need to, and it's just like, please keep quiet. Please keep quiet. We're really not here for that. Ayo pulling Mimi for a chat to sort of say he wants to slow things down doesn't make sense to me. I think he's worried because he was complaining that it's sad that every time something happens, I have to run and report. Why am I running to report? He shouldn't be running to report anyway, because he doesn't owe her any explanation, because he still got his initial connection, which was Mimi. So he owes Mimi an explanation, but he doesn't owe Uma an explanation because they are not locked off. And Uma wasn't interested in him until she realized that he was really going hard with Mimi. Now suddenly, oh, me? Why is he chasing her? Why is he kissing her? Oh, please sit down. Oh, I forgot to discuss the comment. So Omar said that when he walked into the villa with Mimi, she was like champagne, and then Oma was like, fine wine. And I'm like, so what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say Mimi is not as good as? I thought champagne was more expensive than wine. Am I mistaken? Am I wrong? Can someone correct me, please? Because I really don't drink, so I don't know the difference. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. Anyway, the islanders get ready and there's still this moaning and groaning about Ronnie has a deadline. Ronnie has a deadline. I need more scenes with Kieran because Kieran is my guy. The fact that he led the guys in prayer for Ronnie is just like, oh my God, this guy is crazy. And then you have the islanders, obviously, after drinks. Ronnie did the toast of all people. At least he's not as annoying as Zach from last season. At least he's not boring. He is crazy. He is just who he is. And so you have, the conversations taking place between Ronnie and Harriet, and he's sort of saying, I'm not going to give her a decision today because I'm not ready. I'm not ready for a decision. So when I'm ready, I'll give her a decision. And I like the fact that he pulled Jess and he told her, I'm not going to make a decision today. If you want, feel free to make a decision, but I'm not ready. And now she doesn't want to make the decision. And it's like, make it make sense. So you know that Sean is you like Sean, but he's too quiet for you. And you're afraid that if you couple up with him, you'll be sent home. This is why you're sticking to Ronnie. It's not that you really like Ronnie romantically, because she actually had better chemistry with Sean. They were actually having a good time. So I don't know why she doesn't entertain that and why she keeps pushing for Ronnie when Ronnie doesn't seem to be all in with her. That is not making sense to me. Anyway, you have Ronnie, while he's speaking to Jess, sort of receive a text message for the islanders to gather around the fire pit. It seems the producers really like the traffic that they're getting from the viewers that really don't like Oma and the way she's behaving. Because why do they keep sort of they point the camera to couples and then they point to her separately, and it's like, she's in a couple. Please don't make it seem like she's on her own. She's in a couple with Oma. If you're going to put her face up, don't be shady and put Mimi and Ayo, and then immediately afterwards put her. She has nothing to do with that couple outside of the fact that she just likes that she's causing drama for them. That's all she likes. It's not like she likes this guy romantically. Anyway, so the islanders are asked to stand up, and then after they've been told that the viewers are voting for their favorite couples, and the first couple saved is Joey and Samantha. Am I surprised? I think they've been saved by Joey's fan base, not because of Samantha, because Samantha is annoying. She's grating like nails on a chalkboard. So I think that's the reason why they've been saved. Kieran and Nicole, I think, have been saved because I like them. I don't really know Nicole. I know Kieran, and I love Kieran for his outspokenness, so I get why they're saved. Their announcement was read by Ayo. That was sweet. The producers are messy. Because they have Uma read the message for Ayo and Mimi to say they're safe. And the look on her face, it's like, what do you think, Sherlock Holmes? Just because you're pretty doesn't mean people are going to like you. It doesn't mean that, because the viewers have seen through your mess, and maybe it's the viewers' way of telling you that you are not part of the black couple love that we want. Mimi is it, and so it's sad for her, but I'm happy that Mimi and Ayo are safe. And you could see the look on Ayo's face, because Mimi has carried herself with grace and confidence. She hasn't involved herself in any name calling. She hasn't involved herself in any gossip. She hasn't said anything slanderous against this girl. So the fact that the viewers have chosen to save her should give him pause for concern, because he should be asking himself, what are they seeing in her that I'm not seeing? What is it that the viewers are seeing in Mimi that I'm not seeing? Because the reason why he's safe is because of Mimi. That's my opinion. I think if he was in a couple with Oma, he would be vulnerable. But because he's with Mimi, this is why he's safe. Because Mimi has carried herself with grace and elegance. She hasn't involved herself in any of the mess. She hasn't involved herself in any of the unnecessary drama. This is why the guy said she's girlfriend material, and she surely is. So the bottom three couples are revealed to be Patsy and Manve, Oma and Uma, and Harriet and Sean. And looking at that, automatically you already know who's going home. I think the boys might have been questionable, but with the girls it was a given who was going home, because Uma wasn't going to go home because she's involved in that love triangle. Harriet wasn't going to go home because she's involved in the other love triangle, and I think the producers were keeping those love triangles going for that specific reason. So Patsy was a given that she was going home. Sadly, she drew the short straw in that mix. And then with the guys, I thought it would either be Oma or Manuvere. I don't think Sean was going anywhere because the guys would have spoken up for him because he's friends with Kieran. And I think he's also friends with Joey. We barely see him. He's always in the background. So the girls were going to speak up for him because I think Jess wanted a backup plan just in case Ronnie doesn't pick her. So she decided to save him because that's his only other connection in the villa. Manuvere, sadly, he couldn't create a connection with anyone, and his problem was he shut down people too quickly, and in shutting them down he left himself with no option. He shut down Mimi on day one, and then he shut down Patsy. We don't even know what drama happened between the two of them. We know one moment they said they had a connection, and then the next moment they were gone. So am I surprised that he was sent home? No, it was either going to be her or Oma. I think the girls saved Oma for Uma just in case Ayo picks Mimi. Or if Ayo picks Oma, then Mimi will have a chance to explore with Oma. That's the only reason why I think they saved him. Otherwise, he was going home. I think he actually thought he might be going home. Manuvere was disappointed, but I don't think he was surprised. And for the girls to say there's no one in here for him, doesn't make sense really when he's tried and he's shown interest in some of them. So I don't get what they mean. But anyway, I can't wait for this drama to end. I can't wait for Ayo and Mimi to be a couple and for Oma to sort of move on to wherever she moves on to. If nothing else, I hope it shows her that this might not be the place for her to continue to sort of fight in that love triangle. I think her sort of being in the bottom three couples humbled her to some extent. I think it humbled her, and I hope she takes notice. Anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 8. Bye guys.